Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Free Coiner. I am coming to you today to go over a couple things here. Now, let me first go ahead and say that I'm not a financial advisor. I am simply giving my opinions on all of this stuff that's happening. So always make sure you do your own research and base your decisions on whatever information you're able to pull out of all the things that are going on. Now, that being said, turns out the the news that came out about Goldman Sachs ditching their trading desk and all of this stuff, it turns out it was fake news. Now, it seems as though it wasn't just that it was fake news, but when they did, and when this information came out, there was a huge drop. Well, we'll say huge, about a 10% drop in the market. Okay, which a lot of coins are still suffering from right now, which, XRP being one of them. Now, I personally think that it was a concerted effort. Okay, I think the news came out at the same time that the sell-off, or rather those shorts that were created. I think it was meant to kind of cover it up, but they didn't do a very good job at it, because it seems like they were caught red-handed, and it's really apparent. I mean, we already know that there's manipulation going on. Now, moving forward, okay, there is a possibility, I think, that it could go further. I think that they know there isn't much repercussion they have to deal with even if they are manipulating the market. I mean, that's what it seems like to me. But even still, what can be done about it? Somebody takes out a bunch of shorts, a large short on XRP or Bitcoin or whatever, and it causes the market to tank. I mean, so what? They can do what they want with their money, right? So there isn't much anyone can really do other than point out the fact that it's being done. It just validates the positions that most of us who are doing videos on this, just the fact that that the market is being manipulated. Okay, so really, I think the most important thing to take away from this is that we cannot be shaken out of our positions. We know that the things that are being done are just to cause people to sell out, to become frustrated and just totally get out of the market. I believe we are on the precipice, and I keep saying this, but we are right on the cusp of a huge bull run. And I think that it's going to be unprecedented. And when I say that, I really mean unprecedented. There is nothing that we can really compare what's about to happen. There's nothing we can compare it to. The closest I think we could probably get is what happened last year with Bitcoin, but I don't even think that's going to, accurately, it'll be an accurate comparison, because what's about to happen is going to, completely outshine that. And it's mostly going to be focused on XRP. I truly believe there is so much that's going on with XRP. They have, and I said this before, there are things that are going on in the background that XRP or Ripple cannot speak about, because there's always going to be NDAs that protect whatever deals, whatever contracts that are set up, or partnerships, or any of that. The NDAs are going to protect that information, so they cannot speak about it specifically. They may be able to speak in general terms, but they can't speak about who they've signed and all of that. For the most part, some companies I'm sure are fine with it, but yeah, what's about to happen is going to totally blow everyone's mind. So when we're looking at the quarters, right? So we're about to go into the fourth quarter. I totally believe we're not really going to see anything until we enter into the fourth quarter. And there are a lot of reasons why companies don't do certain things until they hit the last quarter or even in the first quarter. But there are reasons behind that, and working for a corporation for, corporations for so much of my life and seeing how they actually operate. And, there, like I said, there are many reasons why they don't do this. Not to mention the fact that there are still large institutions and people with quite a lot of money who don't want to get into XRP. And I'm speaking about XRP specifically. They don't want to get into XRP at the current prices. Right now, I mean, this could be a price, an entry point that they, are fine with. And, it could be that they're just waiting until we hit the fourth quarter. But I definitely wouldn't put it past them to cause the price to go down even further. So, my my idea about that is if it goes lower, I'm buying more. Whatever you decide, that's totally up to you. But if it goes lower, I'm buying more. I always set aside a little bit of cash to make sure that I can, as it goes down, or if it does go down, I'm able to, dollar cost average further into it and make my investment even more efficient, I'll say. Now, moving on to this particular article. Ripple CEO Chris Larsen says they have signed hundreds of banks in production mode. I mean, think about it. Is this what they said earlier this year was that they signed, a couple hundred banks, right? But when you say hundreds of banks, if there were only 200 banks, because you can't use the plural form of the word if there aren't more than 100 banks, right? But I really, just seeing how Ripple, the company itself actually operates and the, how above water they actually are, I don't think they're speaking about just 200 banks. I would be more leaning towards the thought that they're actually talking about hundreds of banks, multiple hundreds, right? More than just two. They're not going into the thousands of, obviously, but maybe 300, 400, 500 banks. I mean, and the fact that they haven't even announced the fact that XRP is live yet, I really believe we have a lot in store. They have a lot in store for us. I think that if you are invested in XRP, you have probably done the best thing you will ever do in your life as far as financial gains are concerned. And again, there has not been another opportunity that will be like this. There has not. There are going to be people who have already sold out and they're going to be kicking themselves, for the next 20 years because all they had to do was just stay strong and ignore all the FUD that's being put out there, all this fake news and just this stuff that they're putting out there, because these institutions, all these different reporters who are totally against XRP, and it may even be that they're not. They could be getting paid to actually say this, but they could be holding some major positions in XRP because, I mean, you have to look at it. If you have someone who is in a position that is, and they're being well paid for it, they cannot be so stupid as to not invest in the number one cryptocurrency out there. There's more good news going on about XRP than any cryptocurrency that is available right now. Not to mention all the fake news that's being put out about it, all the lies. It is absolutely obvious that XRP is going to go somewhere that no other coin will be able to follow. It's obvious. So I'm more than sure a lot of these people who are putting this news out there, they are being paid or asked to do it, and they have some major positions in it. Um, and I really don't want to go into it's just a lot to go into. I don't want to make the video too long, but yeah, I mean, you guys just check it out. I mean, this is just under XRP news, just different things that are going on right now. Um, and to move on, Ripple, Brad Garling's house sheds. See, okay, now this right here, I think this is referring to the interview that he had with was it not Michael Arrington? Yeah, Mike Butcher. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys checked out this interview, but it was absolutely pitiful. I mean, it the guy in the leather jacket. I mean, how more obvious could he be? Could it be that he was intentionally throwing lies out there? Things that have been proven to be lies, that have been proven to be FUD, and he's still putting this information out in front. I mean, really, it was really embarrassing, not for Brad, for himself. I mean, I really, and for someone to be in that type of position, okay, in that position, to throw that crap out the way he was. I mean, it would seem to me that any sane person would be concerned about tarnishing their own image, but he wasn't. And what would cause someone to not care about that? Well, in my book, the way I look at it, the only way you're going to have someone that would take a risk on making themselves look stupid like that, someone who is associated with what, TechCrunch. I mean, look, it is obvious the guy was very likely being paid. So the fears that people have, that who are out there who don't really understand this market, those fears are just being amplified, so they will exit XRP. That is what it's all about. There's a plethora of good information out there. There are a lot of other YouTubers who are putting some awesome information out. I don't know if you guys have checked out Crypto Airy. She has some awesome information. Check out Alex Cobb, the digital asset investor. I mean, so many people out there that are putting out some awesome information, just some good facts about what's going on, that really kind of dispel a lot of the FUD that's being just strewn out there in the market, out there in the media for the weak hands to actually gobble up. Yeah, they refute all of that crap. I would definitely suggest you guys check them out. I listen to these guys all the time, and it really helps me because sometimes we all need some encouragement, somebody that you can listen to give you that that positive thought to keep you in the game, to keep you standing up straight and standing strong. So myself, I'll do my best to always put this information out to, and I know I personally don't go too deep into a lot of this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think personally, we can have as much information as possible, but a lot of times what most people need, or what a lot of people need, is just encouragement. It's if you have encouragement, that can keep you, that can help you weather storms that you would not normally be able to. I'm going to give you an example. Mike Tyson, I was looking at a documentary about Mike Tyson. And the one thing that he said that really stood out to me was that his coach, the one that died, what was his name? Shay or something like that. I can't remember his name. But he said that when he first started boxing with him, when he first started training him, he said his coach would always say, "You're the greatest, you're the best," saying all this stuff. And initially, he said that he felt he wasn't sure if the guy was maybe gay or or something. He just thought something was wrong. Like, why is this guy saying all this good stuff about me? But where he came from, when people do that, they want something from you. Okay. But in this scenario with Mike and his coach, the coach wanted something for him. He wanted him to be the best. And the way how he knew to get him there was through encouragement. Because a lot of us don't necessarily have that on a daily basis, And what Mike said was that as time went on and he kept hearing this, what he realized was that his coach was building up his confidence. Without confidence, you will be defeated every time. Confidence is what gives us the strength to forge on, to keep going despite all the negative things that can hit you in the face on a constant basis. That confidence in yourself will always make you stand straighter, stand taller, and stand stronger. Now, guys, I really hope that what I've had to say today and what I've been saying has sparked that confidence in you, because personally, as I've said before, I want as many people as possible to be able to take advantage of this opportunity and come out on the other side of this with great wealth, as in the best position you can all be in, because we all have needs. So anyway, guys, hodl on, keep going, stand strong. We're all in this together. That being said, this has been Mr. Freecoiner, and God bless.